Sup, guys? I'm Polly, and this is totally not a film commentary about We Summon the Darkness from 2020, I'm going to say. I was looking it up. Some places actually say 2019 because of a film festival, and then other places are saying basically it was released digitally on 2020 and on DVD in 2020. So we're going to go ahead with 2020. It's an hour and 31 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes if you're on Netflix, which is where we're watching this today. Um, it is horror thriller. Uh, I could not find a budget for it. One site said 6 million. Everywhere else just kept saying low budget, but they gave no numbers. The box office was 168,473, which I get. It wasn't released in movie theaters, so I guess, we have no real numbers to compare in quality, but I've already seen this film. This is one of the more, I guess, comparatively to the horror films I've been doing, this is a little bit more recent than those ones. I think I saw it last year. I'm gonna go ahead and say, because I was just looking for new stuff to watch. But yeah, usually before I start recording, I go ahead and I watch the trailer. Uh, and I remember I think I had seen the trailer, or at least when this movie was new on Netflix, that when they show you like something, a trailer, I guess, to get you to watch it. I had watched it then. I couldn't find the trailer on Netflix, so I didn't watch the trailer. Because I've seen this movie. I actually like this movie. So this is going to be a very biased commentary. I'll try not to. I like to be critical of everything I absorb, so. But yeah, IMDb rating is 5.2 out of 10, so we'll see how that matches up since there's really no way of comparing the budget, which is what I really like to do. And quality, though. So, um, in my pre-show notes, I wrote that, yeah, it's a movie I've seen. I didn't watch the trailer this time. That is true. Also, um, I don't I don't know if obviously I feel like if you're watching this commentary, this is not your first time watching this film. I think if you are at a point where you are watching film commentaries, it should not be your first time watching the film. Therefore, there should be no I should have no need to should I be giving spoilers, should I be not giving spoilers. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, two things to keep in mind for this film before we get into it. One, Johnny Knoxville. Yes, Johnny Knoxville from Jackass. And two, satanic Christians. The most massive juxtaposition I have ever said and heard and seen, like watched. Yes. I think that's actually part of what makes this movie cool. But also, as we're getting into it, the whole reason I came about doing this commentary, just like pretty much every other commentary I've mentioned quite literally after I did it, my ongoing beef with Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, and in that film commentary I said I think a better movie that does this whole idea better. I say it in the beginning before really getting into the film, but I mention We Summon the Darkness and I say, okay, I'm going to do a film commentary on We Summon the Darkness. And that's mainly because of like the idea of, I don't know, it was the van, and you'll see what I mean, because there's a van in this one. I don't know what vehicles have to do with me comparing two films. The films really aren't alike, but I guess we'll just have to watch and see, right? The reason I'm saying that is the whole reason that I am doing this film commentary is because of Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. And hopefully, after this one, this whole entire saga of me having a beef with that terrible movie will be over. Hopefully. And yes, okay, so these film commentaries come out once a week, but just to put it in retrospect, I've probably been focused on this for only about a week or two. So it may seem, I guess by the time this one comes out, it may seem like I've been going through this a whole month or maybe a month and like a week or so, but quite literally it's only been 2 weeks because of how I spaced them out being posted. But yeah, so there's all of that. This movie is great. I am willing to vouch for that before we even watch that. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. Soundtrack is even amazing. The house they even film at is amazing. It has all those classic horror movie tropes that you like to see. You know, the ones that make you feel like you're at home in a horror film. I don't know what that feeling is. It sounds kind of psychopathic, but whatever. But yeah, there's really nothing else to be said except for my phone is ringing in the background and I can't do anything about it, but I'm not going to answer it. So, okay. I guess as if there's nothing else for me to say, I brought up the weirdness in the dates. Um, Talked about some satanic Christians. How well they did at the box office is kind of sad. I mean, but it did lead it to becoming a cult film. I guess that's something to bring up. And I love cult films. If someone says a film has a cult following, I'm going to watch that film. Hands down. Like I don't know. I don't know. It's the films that it, I just like those films, you know? I feel like a more mainstream cult film for me is like Rocky Horror. Um, but yet people don't know like people say they like Rocky Horror, but then people don't understand Rocky Horror. You know what I mean? Like the people that say they like Rocky Horror don't even get like the script that goes along with it, the audience script. Like Rocky Horror is quite literally. I don't know why I'm talking about Rocky Horror right now. Anyway, let's. I go on tangents. It's true, but let us get into this. Lettuce, tomato, ketchup. Get into this. Um, on my last one, I taped. I don't know if it's gonna come out in the correct order. On Grudge, I did not. I forgot to say when how much time was left. I keep forgetting to do that sometimes. So hopefully I'll be better about it this time around. But we'll see. So I'm gonna go ahead and give a countdown and we are gonna get into the film. So 3, 2, 1, play. I will say I feel like it's a very well balanced for being a film that is supposed to take place like in a different time. It's a very well balanced modern horror film. Like I don't know. I think it's because it, you get nostalgic. Ooh, Litecoin. Wow. You get it's crypto backed. Okay. But I think you get like some directors that be feeling a certain way nostalgically about like a certain genre of film and they end up I'm gonna have to look that up, Litecoin Foundation. But they want to emulate it, you know? Well, not emulate it, but they pull from it or create homages. And I think that's where this went. That chick looks just like Madonna in Like a Prayer. How do you travel 60 miles in under an hour? That's, well, I guess. I like how sometimes films, when you rewatch them, they become a completely different film to you. Like, I like films like that, where you're watching it the first time and it's very unknown, but you watch it another time, and since you know, it's a completely different film. The amount of irony. I like saying that even though I know I'm using it incorrectly, like quite literally every time. Twinkies! BT Dub, Johnny Knoxville. I probably should have said that as soon as you're able to see him. But yeah, I like that hat. Also, I've been watching Twin Peaks. Why does this dude look like he's from Twin Peaks? I don't know if they gave a full. I don't think they say when the year is, but it's at least early 90s. Maybe late 80s. Like I said, this movie has a pretty good playlist, soundtrack. I don't know why I said playlist. That is the van I was thinking of when I was watching Book of Shadows. Is she really going pee again? Wow. Didn't they just leave the gas station? And first of all, trying to wipe something off like that is only gonna make it smudge. I mean, she's right. See how smudgy and like it's not clean? He just slammed his hands in dried chocolate milkshake. It's a nice charger. Ew, ew, ew. Jaeger is disgusting. It tastes like medicine. They should roll their windows up, but that's just me. It is. First of all, she threw way many more in there than what popped. There were only 3 pops. There should have been way more pops than that. His mustache reminds me of the bigger dude, the taller dude in Bloody Valentine with the mustache that's cooking bacon on his car. He's a tall dude. He's taller than the van, gosh. They're like a different version of Ed, Ed, and Eddie. It's kind of a waste of beer, but okay. Oh my gosh, she is wasting so much beer. Dio, holy devil. They do. That's true. Okay. At least they're setting up they're framing for the time that this is happening about. I think my first time watching this through, I was like, this is like the perfect time for like, oh, he got hit. He got elbowed, snap his nose. It's gonna happen. You just have to assume. But nice Anthrax shirt. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but like if when they were in there and all the sparks and flames are going and something like what happened in Jennifer's body happened, that would make some sense. He got elbowed in the nose. Nintendo and Metroid. Mm, he's drunk. Go home, he's drunk. They keep showing that that chick just knows nothing. I think there's irony in the fact that that's what they're talking about. I guess Van could be short for Ivan. Oh, I get it. Play on words. I know they're acting, but he sounds like he's getting actually drunker and drunker. And you know nothing about music. Just go ahead and say that to her. feel like that's what they say in MLMs. Cult. Take the other cups. Don't forget those. Wow. Not really. I mean, she just got alcohol all over her jacket that has like Sharpie on it. That's gonna bleed. Now she knows he has a knife. I mean, it's smart. Of alcohol. Ha ha ha. To me, that is still a confusing game. Exorcist is a good series. It's more like story oriented than it is like scare. Oh, now he's just throwing shade. Everyone in this is honestly they're all good actors. I think you would have to compare it to actors from the same era, I guess, more modern, more current. Haha. And there's three of you there. He's trying to think it's not tonight. This is a good part. Dude, Mark's laid out on the grass already. Look at him. Dude, not gonna lie, if he would have just booked it and was like making a mad dash in that moment, Mark's down. Mark is down for the count. Mark. Kovacs, you better run. Run, dude. Like, this is my thing. You two of your friends are knocked out. Just run. And also, you should probably always know where your friend keeps their keys. But also, why didn't they take his switchblade away? If she knew he had a switchblade, should have already been taken, at least by the time Mark was knocked out. Oh, because they take their clothes. Does doing that even really wake people up? How are they like completely just sober of everything? We summon the darkness. That could have been a title shot in another reality. Sorry, I've been drinking a Kool-Aid jammer this whole time. I guess that's why they're not allowed in movie theaters. I like this when this happens in movies when there's like a point a point of pointless screaming and terror. I think it's like when you know someone's not going to escape but you see them trying anyway. Like there I think in Get Out there's a moment like that when he's telling the chick to go get the keys and then she's like, "You know I can't get the keys." Well, she specifically doesn't care. It seems like at least Beverly cares. He is the smart one. This is so wild. For Jesus. They're quite literally killing for Jesus. And it's like a crusade. It's not even a crusade. They're just killing random people. And it's like these are some good camera shots. Getting everyone's expressions in this scene, in this room. By killing. That are killing. I think I don't think now is the time to be arguing about religion when you're tied up in someone else's house. And that is a carotid artery. The effects are so accurate too. Potentially, I have no idea, but I would assume you would probably bleed that much. And yeah, blood should actually be coming out of your mouth. It's really close to your mouth. But it pours, dude, and gosh, I love authentic special effects that are not CGI. And I I guess there's so much about the scene. This I wish I could do a scene breakdown. That would take some doing. Oh no, I got water on my notes. Oh my gosh. I like how the music stops. Dude, you can't leave them by themselves now that you've killed one. That's a nice sink. Weak bladder. We should have asked for at least one. Maybe each person should get at least one person. Everyone has an act. Okay, you don't hand someone a knife blade first. Just safety. I get it. They're Christian murders, acting like Satanists, but for their own safety, still, why don't you go ahead and hand her the handle first of the knife? And this is why they had time to put their pants on. You don't leave people. Obviously, you could tell this is their first time at the rodeo. Oh, dang, she was really whipping it around. I like how a baking sheet was enough to really just stun them both. What is she thinking? First of all, wait, does the door open from the inside or from the outside? It opens into the inside. That was a deep cut. Jeez. Of everything we've watched so far in like the film commentary series, like this has to be like the I can't say goriest, but the bloodiest. Cause Kovacs is leaking. uh, I forgot to silence my phone. Put together story. Pull yourself together, Beverly. Is Ruby Tuesdays even still a thing? She's still drinking. In hindsight, he shouldn't stay there because yeah, that's the exact reason he was inhaling that. Probably also got in his wound. I'm sorry. The door gap is big enough under that door that they could have probably have just pulled the towels through. Are those marshmallows? What are those behind his head? There's some symbolism right there. Like a pentagram that is very faintly seen because of sheer drapes. Like, and we'll see how the stepmom doesn't even notice it. She got hit with a baking sheet. Ha 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 ha. Oh, she's taking her sweet time. Doesn't she have like a flight or something to get to? How did she not see the van? Good thing they're in the pantry. You need some sugar. They got Lucky Charms, Snickers bars, marshmallows. What do you want? Oh, she's taking her sweet time, and it's cool because they have too much to worry about inside. Like this chick, they have too much to worry about inside to be like, "Come on, Beverly, why aren't you murdering with us?" Good thing there was a chair in there. Why there's a chair in there? Who knows? Oh, she did see the band. Car phone. The police are on their way. All that cocaine just makes her the perfect investigator. Yeah. How did she just fall? She just like dropped. She didn't even get pushed. I'm pretty sure her dad wouldn't mind. It sucks for what is that, like almost a white pantsuit? Gosh. That's a good shot. See, now it can be investigated like closely to him. Like first of all, this is also happening at his house. Like where does she live that they are doing this at her dad's house? And but she just said we're gonna go. I was about to say her jacket looks so cool, but it's actually Mark's jacket. This is an important scene. You have to be able to follow it really quickly. Heads up. I think that is the explanation of why they're doing it at his house, but I cannot remember. If I was her, I would have just grabbed the money and ditched the friends. He has to be able to put it out without the blanket catching on fire. Also, how they got blankets in there, food. They honestly could have just held up in there. Oh, snap, it's the cops. This is such a fun little movie. Fun little horror film. It really is. Did she cover up where she got hit with the baking sheet? And she sucks at lying. Guys, I did it again. I guess this happens the most with movies I enjoy. We are at 32:40. That is what we got left. Because you suck at lying. This chick was a good actress. Now they gotta kill a cop. For that being such a solid door, he was able to just get right in there. You guessed it. That's a little sexist. That would just make him look like a bad sheriff. Woo! But now they gotta kill everyone that comes in the house. I yeah. E- Even though they on the same team right now, I wouldn't give her the gun. We're all Val in that moment. True. No, you ain't. Poor Kovacs. I think you need to leave him in. Oh, Jolt, dude. I think I think he needs to leave him in there and go get help for him. I am going to look to see if I could get a pack of Jolt. And Surge. Balls is good too. I drink cherry balls. That sounds so good right now. No, she got the receipts. She quite literally could show you, but you would probably rip it up. Dang. Rockstar makes a cola. That's wild. They don't have it. Ouch. Dang, a soda sounds so good right now. Dang, that's 1911. Is almost dead. Or dead. One can of Surge costs 35 bucks. On Amazon, they say that is $2.19 a fluid ounce. And people be getting dented cans. Oh, this is the part where they really amp it up. This is the part. When the music starts going. They really shouldn't. I think he's just enjoying the water right now. Mark is the only one who knows what he's doing. Where did Val go? She was just told to stay with him, and then she's like, "I gotta leave you." Poor Kovacs. They're putting him in the corner, dude. Gun versus Weed Whacker. If they did pick up the gun, I cannot remember. Oh, Kovacs has the gun, which is smart. He needs to check for bullets really quick, though. I feel like this moment with Kovacs is like the realest moment in this whole film. Like, or at least this when they're in the dark, you know, in general. It's Johnny Knoxville. I would have just shot him. Like, you're within an inch of your life. You have to be that much on the defensive. Like, poor Kovacs. You're Johnny Knoxville, and this is Jackass. Wow, wow, wow. It's getting suspenseful. We are at 19 even. That is how much time there is left. Just to make sure if you're still on the right track. Yeah. With Val's logic, she could easily get herself killed. Ooh. I would take this time to enjoy a beer and a cookie. Actually sounds really good. Not Paps though. I definitely not Paps Blue Ribbon. Ouch, on the foosball table. All of this knife slashing, like, maybe they should have practiced using knives before they were like, okay, it's our turn to murder some people. Ouch. She quite literally has a weed whacker, and she's deciding to choke her. Because that logically makes sense. Hairspray. That makes the whole entire time she's dousing her head in hairspray a moment of foreshadow. Because now she's on fire. How the house doesn't burn down, I do not know. How in the world did he make it back in the house? What? He is a trooper. I realized before I go any more in my film commentary series, and I gotta make a note of this, I'm gonna have to watch, uh, I think it's called Cabin in the Woods. Excuse me. I hate sneezing on mic, but that was unavoidable. Um, the movie where it quite literally, like, it is about the horror movie trope and how about What was this movie called? There's a list of horror movie tropes. Johnny Knoxville is underrated as an actor. It is definitely called Cabin in the Woods. We are going to have to watch that. Because that is a movie about the movies we are watching in its own way. He's not. I mean, it's brainwashing, but at the same time, he's not wrong. She was being reckless. Like, and that's on her. She don't know. She ain't see the papers. Uh-huh. There's irony there. That's exactly what she was saying to the guys. I wouldn't believe her. Yeah. Bro, she she is the least innocent person. She is the least innocent person of anyone. Whoa. Yes, Mark has to live. That is a thing. At this point, that is a trope. Mark and Beverly have to be the ones to survive. How Kovacs is still... Is he? Is he still alive? He's dead. He was a trooper. It's almost like Resident Evil status, like how Michelle Rodriguez lasted so long. Like, how did he last so long? Bro, if 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 dude lasted as long as he did, you can't be like, I'm not gonna make it. They better Jeepers Creepers. Does she have a gun? Do it! Yep. This is the last call. 8:05. And there's the news, twisting the story. Huh? Is he about to put two and two together? She took the money. She gave him 100. True? She's right. I don't know how you could smile after the situation you were just put through. Take him to a hospital? How does she not know? Wow, didn't even take a chance to wipe off the. Someone's gonna see that and be like, unless you're just gonna at some point drop everything off as evidence. That is it. That's We Summon the Darkness. With another nice song. It's a really good film. I like this stream of good films that I'm getting to watch because I feel like I started off watching a lot of films that wouldn't, be worth it. But this film, definitely worth it. So, I guess we'll get into it. Hold on. They're showing me a preview for another film. Okay. So like I said, I've seen this before, and I also said my commentary would be completely biased, and that is the kind of the truth, because I do like this film, and like I said, it came about because of what I had said about the movie that at this point shall not be named. It won't be said. But yeah, let's just go through the notes of it. So, I like how in the beginning you at the beginning you think you're watching the people that are going to be going through the horror. You don't think you're watching the killers. And so that's why I said, "Oh, this is interesting to watch a second time, because they start saying, not Beverly, but Val and Alexis, they say things that, like, quite literally raise red flags when you're watching it the second time, because you realize, like, what they're saying is directly connected to how they are and who they are. And so I still, and also, like, what ties in with that is the fact that Alexis knows nothing about the type of music scene she is supposed to be fitting in with. And that's why they have Beverly there, because Beverly knows the most. And she was recruited, I think, basically to be their information, because both of them didn't really know anything. This, in the beginning, this is definitely a film for music buffs, at least for music buffs that are into metal. And also, like I said, soundtrack in general is just gold. A lot of really cool band shirts too at the beginning. I like that. At some point you are playing a game of who's the killer. They give you red herrings, like the satanic ritual book or whatever in the van, and stuff like that, but you really start the question, so are the guys going to kill the girls, are the girls going to kill the guys? And it's even like to the point where when the guys are driving up to the house, and Kovacs, poor Kovacs, is talking about how if he ever saw a dude in a boy band, he was gonna slice him up. And then it's like, telling you how things can be all taught, because they don't even know. The dude, Kovacs, got sliced up. He got shot, sliced up, gassed out. Poor Kovacs. But yeah, so you are playing a little bit of a game of who are the wolves, who are the sheep, and then I guess in this case, ironically, the sheeps are wolves, but still. And then I like how when they have them all tied up, like, and they're giving the explanation, because I think if you tried to explain the whole plot of this film in a whole nother way, it would be so difficult to explain that we are making it look like satanic killings because we are Christians, and this is what is going to get more people coming to our congregation. And then skip ahead and you get to find out even more about the fact that for the pastor of said congregation, played by Johnny Knoxville, that it's all just a money grab for him, like he is killing in order to make money. It even gets even more insane. And I guess in general, like the plot, like the chick said at the end, don't believe everything you see, because you can't. You can't. Throughout the whole film, you can't believe what you see. You can't believe that these chicks might become victim to a satanic cult because they're a Christian cult. Everything in this film is the complete opposite of what you were supposed to believe visually. Which is great. I think that is actually what makes this a great film. Yeah, and like I said, the scene when they're tied up, has to be the best scene in the whole entire film. Personal opinion, but yes. I know it happens early, but it doesn't take away from the fact that this is a good film. I like the whole thing. What else did I put here? It's thoroughly entertaining to watch. It has everything, and this is why I said I have to watch Cabin in the Woods, because I feel like you have to give a Cabin in the Woods is a great film for telling people the basic horror tropes. Like, there are certain things, not necessarily scary things, but there are certain things that over the years have been garnered to be in every single horror film that people expect. And so Cabin in the Woods, while making fun of these things, I think in a way is kind of like educating people on, this is, if you don't know, this is what these are the ingredients in a horror film. So that's why I was like, now I gotta watch Cabin in the Woods. So there's that. And then thoroughly entertaining. It's an easy to put together story. And that might also be from how they deliver the story as well. But compared to The Grudge, which I watched but I'll probably be having it come out after this. The Grudge was confusing. The Grudge was really confusing. But that was because of their method of storytelling and how many flashbacks. My goodness. They were able to tell this story without a flashback. Granted, they used methods like TV and radio and just like recalling without a flashback, which I think are all methods that could have been easily utilized in The Grudge. But, I mean, we don't know the budget of this movie, and we know that the budget for The Grudge was like, what, 10 million? I wrote it somewhere. I'm not going to look it up, though. It was less than Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. But yeah, so there's that. Maybe because they were working with a lower budget, it is easier to not confuse your audience. Like, the point of making a film is actually, believe it or not, to an extent, you do, in some cases, depending on what you're trying to do, you want your audience confused, but you, on a level of trying to get your story across, you don't want your audience confused, you know? Like, I think a director that does that really good is M. Night Shyamalan. I have been thoroughly psychologically horrified from his films, but am I ever confused about the story or the lesson he wants people to learn? Never. But yeah, I'm not comparing this to an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Just saying, putting that out there. What else is here? The chick that played Alexis was a really good actress. The acting in this movie is actually really good. Because it's all believable. You know you're watching good acting when it's believable. Sometimes the actor themselves can kind of take away from that, but even like Johnny Knoxville, you're not like looking and being like, snap, that's Johnny Knoxville. I know I was making jokes about it, but you're not watching it like, this is Johnny Knoxville. You're watching it like, oh my gosh, the pastor's in the house. Like, oh my gosh, he killed Kovacs. Oh my gosh, is he gonna kill his daughter because she messed everything up? Like, like, it just keeps going. Like, when the people don't seem disconnected from their roles and it becomes believable, and then that carries to the suspension of disbelief. It's a beautiful thing. If you can't tell, I am so I love this film. I can't say I love this film, but it's a really good film, understandably. For what it's worth. If you're thinking about it on a critical level of what would make a good, not just horror film, but just a good movie, a good film. For some reason I wrote cults, brainwashing, and Christians. Yeah, that whole thing, I think I like the idea that they take the idea of like a commonplace religion and they flip it on its head and stuff. In a way, it's kind of a social commentary, but I think it's a really good way of how they did it, and with using religion kind of as a topic. I do like the end message too, definitely, especially when she's like watching the news footage with the guy. First of all, how did that dude not recognize her from when they came in quite literally the day before, didn't look at the fact that she's purchasing Band-Aids, hydrogen peroxide, and a bunch of other stuff, and then pays with 100 and doesn't, like, in his mind say, did you just come from this massacre? I guess he doesn't care, though, because she gave him 100. I hope she got her change back, though. Unless she said keep the change. I can't remember. Like I said, story-wise, it's well put together. And the only question I have at the end of this whole entire thing is, I know he died at the end, but how did Kovacs survive for so long? The reason why it said it's kind of like Michelle Rodriguez in Resident Evil is because there are people, you can watch it too, there are people in the first Resident Evil film that get bit before and after her, and they turn into zombies before her. Like, she doesn't die till like the end, and then the whole entire time I'm just like, how? How? She's like one of the first people that gets bitten. You know, how did she survive till the end of it just to die? It's the same thing. He he took way more damage than anyone else in this film, and ends up. Every time you see him, he's still alive. He keeps thinking he's not gonna make it, and then he's still alive. Then, as they're finally leaving the house at the end, they look down, and he's dead. It's such a sad part because of how long he did survive, dude. I think that would have been wild if they would have let him survive. But yeah. But yeah, that's not gonna lie, that is all I have. That's all I have for this film. We Summon the Darkness. It's a good little movie, you know? It's a good thing to watch. Good film. Um 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb. I think it could easily get a 7. I feel like people may not. There are some things I think people may not like in there. Uh, Johnny Knoxville, even though I don't know who doesn't like Johnny Knoxville. The gore might have caught people off guard. I think there's just a few things that might. The whole religion thing might have also made people knock it down too. Um, the chick that plays Val, I think the character of Val having an obnoxious personality, it's supposed to be like that. I like it. I actually like her personality through the whole film. But I think that might have also annoyed some people. But, like, when you start thinking about overall what the general public might have just not liked about the film, like, I see how it gets a 5.2. I would have rated it like a 7. Easy. 7. You know, I couldn't see myself giving it higher. If I asked myself why I wouldn't give it a 6, I would have to say I don't know why I wouldn't give it a 6. 7 just seems right, which is cool because this is the 7th installment. So I guess that really works there. So yeah, yeah. If you quite literally made it this far, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And this is, excuse me, this has totally not been a film commentary of We Summon the Darkness from 2020. Watched on Netflix, and it's a horror thriller. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, whatever we're watching next. So yeah, thank you for being around. Peace, guys.